Good morning. I hope we're all sparkly. I've been challenged not to say hunter-gatherer. Is that going to be possible? Right, let's give it a go. Testosterone deficiency. One of the cardinal presenting symptoms is low mood and/or anxiety and an element of depersonalization. That feeling that you're present but not present, so not fully engaged in the moment. Also, lack of drive, lack of determination, you've lost your mojo, you have a low libido, you just don't feel like yourself. And that is disheartening, and obviously it leads to discord because you know what you were like, you remember what you were like, and it doesn't matter how much you struggle to climb your way back to that same place, you can't. Now I'm going to say this, even with testosterone replacement therapy, you can't go back to your past self, because that is past, and life experiences have changed you. Now you must learn from these experiences, good and bad, to continue to move forwards. But I just want to feel normal again. What on earth is normality? Well, when you've got low testosterone, it's not a very pleasant place to be. So, what can you do? You need to look at all of the aspects of life that are important. The tendency is to fixate on low testosterone, and the cure is testosterone replacement therapy. It's gonna make me the man I think I am. No, testosterone gives you the foundation to be the man you want to be. However, the rest is up to you. You need to put the effort in. You need to put the hard work in. When you've got low testosterone and you don't have any motivation, it's hard to actually envisage that. So it's quite sensible to think, right, testosterone, that's going to do it for me. But it isn't reality. You need to put the hard work in. You need to look at your lifestyle, nutrition and exercise and have the right perspective. Testosterone is not a cure-all. So, you embark on your journey of testosterone replacement therapy. You wait for it to work. Don't wait for it to work. Get on with it. Get on with life. Oh, it's not working. What did you expect? Did you expect to be Superman? Well, if you did, that's absurd. So little HCG takes about 11 days to stabilize. Test SIP between 5-8 weeks. You are going to have fluctuations, both physical symptoms, psychological symptoms. Sometimes they can be minor, sometimes they can be quite troublesome, especially if you build up some estrogen and you go through a little bit of a funny period where you feel good and then you start to feel bad. Go with it, go with the flow, baby, because it's a rite of passage. You need to know where your stable levels are before you make any changes to your protocol. So I see people at 5 weeks. It's a telephone consultation after they've had bloods at 4, because I'm predicting a problem, and hopefully preventing a problem from arising by making a subtle adjustment to the protocol. But you must let muddy waters still. You can only have clear water if you leave things alone. You need to let your hormones, your body adjust to the testosterone and the HCG, because there will be a physiological change that is more than just normalizing your total testosterone and your HCG. So the physiological adaptations that I'm most interested in early on is a change in sex hormone binding globulin. This is a commonly misunderstood glycoprotein. It actually annoys me how misunderstood it is, because it's a positive health marker and you want to have a healthy SHBG. Oh, well, this high SHBG is mopping up all of that testosterone, so you don't have a nice free testosterone. You need to look for causation. So if there is a reason why your SHBG is artificially elevated, you need to address that. So an indirect effect of the thyroid on the liver, and liver inflammation and stress and poor sleep. So address causation. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you want to affect a sustainable change to your well-being, you need to address causation. So there is a titration process, and this takes time. There will be subtle adjustments to your protocol to get you optimized. So now you're optimized. What should you do? Now, there's an alarming amount of mental health issues within our society. And that in itself is extremely peculiar. We have a higher state of consciousness, and we're all depressed. We're all anxious. We're all off our nuts. Being off your nuts is quite fun at times, but you must come down to reality. What's reality? Well, let's not go there. But there is a lot of mental discord within our modern civilized society. So let's go back to before civilization. Not before civilization. What were your primary drives? Find shelter, find food, find water, find Raquel Welch in her little, that 10,000 BC, I can't remember what it was now, and procreate and further the species. So we don't have a survival need now. So we are now left with choices. When you have low testosterone, those choices seem to have vanished. And if you do have choices, they seem to be negative. And your low testosterone, unmotivated brain tends to seek the negative. And we should obviously seek positive things. Makes sense? But when you've got low testosterone, it's very difficult to see the wood for the trees. Now you've got normal testosterone and you don't feel any better. You actually feel more anxious. So all of that learned behavior, all of that negativity that you've built up over months, years, it doesn't vanish. It doesn't just magic itself away. You also have to appreciate what I said before. Testosterone is not a cure. It can be, but you have to have every other aspect of your life in check. And you need to continue to work on it day in, day out. So you can actually have heightened anxiety with a healthy testosterone level. And again, we're talking about a nice healthy testosterone to estrogen to DHT ratio. Why don't I feel great? Now, causation. That's as long as my, that's longer than that. Let's not go there now, because that's probably not another vlog. That's a big bloody vlog. But what can you do with healthy hormone levels outside of eating a healthy diet? It's interesting. I watched a podcast or video from Jordan Peterson, because as you guys know, I'm a massive fan of time restricted eating and not breaking my fast until I've exercised, so using testosterone and cortisol. He was saying anxious people should actually eat breakfast. Why? Because you've got high testosterone, high cortisol. What do you want to do? That cortisol is causing you stress. So you actually want to initiate the parasympathetic rest, relaxation, digestion part of your nervous system to hopefully lower your stress by initiating digestion. It's fascinating. I don't know if it works, but the theory, the principle behind it is interesting. Again, using what we know about hormones, the nervous system, to manipulate your psychology. And conversely, your psychology can manipulate your hormones and your nervous system. So it's interesting. Okay, so yeah, let's go there. Life is all about structure, routine, purpose, and meaning. I didn't really think about it, it was about hedonism, but I did have a very hedonistic phase in my life. But in the background, I knew what I was going to do. I knew my purpose, I knew my meaning. So I did have some fun. But life is all about purpose, meaning. So how do you get purpose and meaning? Well, what should you do? Oh. First of all, what you should do is actually have some structure in your life. Because guys who've got anxiety, guys who've got depression, guys in depression got to look into the past, guys with anxiety look into the future, so they're not present in the moment. So how do you force yourself to be present in the moment? You set yourself rules. So what are you going to do? Wake up the same time every day. I don't feel like it today. Fucking get up. So you've done it. 5:30. I'm up. It's a little achievement. Only a little achievement. Those little achievements, they build and build and build and build. So important. So get up the same time each day. Then what should you do? What does a lion do when it wakes up? It stretches. So we are mobile creatures. We spend 8 hours snoozing, wake up, stretch. Then what should you do? Exercise, in my mind. Do some exercise. Use that testosterone, use that cortisol. So what happens if you don't exercise and you've got high testosterone and you've got high cortisol? You're going to be stressed. Of course. You've got no outlet for that stress. We are physical beings with big brains to solve problems. But we are still physical beings. So do some exercise. Doesn't have to be heavy compound lifts. Just go for a walk. Tick that box. So I say to my anxiety guys, let's have a checklist. What should you do? Well, I can't do that. Okay, well, let's break down that activity. So I had a guy who has quite social agoraphobia, and just trying to motivate him. Loved animals, So it was a matter of going out, trying to find a dog, having a little stroke, and then walking around the park, finding some sort of dopamine hit that he wanted from the dog, to then allow him to achieve the more important goal, that was actually being social and actually being outside. It's all about setting small goals to achieve a big goal, to continue to move forwards. So the guys with anxiety, they struggle because they've got this they've got normal testosterone now, and they've got a big cortisol dump, and they don't know what to do. They're all 6s and 7s. So structure a list, tick it off, break it down, small goals. It's fascinating. As you guys know, I'm a fan of Alan Watts. He was a guy who brought Eastern Buddhism to the West. It's all about Zen. And he does this video, it's called What Do You Desire? What makes you itch? Because he recognized the peculiarity of the model that we live in. And he recognized the fact that we were drones. And it's quite interesting, isn't it? Unfortunately, with this lockdown, with this manipulation, a lot of people have become drones, and we're now living in fear. I'm not living in fear. So yeah, this post-Orwellian dystopian state is it's not far off, is it? But what you should do is follow your dreams, follow your passion, because as he said, if you're interested in something, somebody else will be interested in something, and you can become a master of that if you put the effort in. So now you've got normal testosterone. Think, decide what you want to do, break it down, and go for it.